Here's what's happening in the city of Rockville. We'll introduce you to a new neighbor, celebrate the city's growth with Peerless Rockville, and get you geared up for spring with the new Bikeway master plan. This is all the latest news in the city. This is Rock 11 Now. Hello and welcome to this month's edition of Rock 11 Now. I'm your host, Morgan Lash. April is Earth Month, and we'd like to kick off this month's show by giving you an inside look at Rockville's Environmental Commission.
Rockville's Environment Commission is a 9-member body that works to promote a sustainable community.
Our mission is to make recommendations to the mayor and council for environmental direction that the city could take in terms of clean air, clean water, and waste management.
It's a group of people who have come together to really focus on what the environmental needs of the city are as it evolves, as it continues to grow.
Over the years, the Commission has helped to make environmental improvements to the city, and they have not gone unnoticed. In 2012, Rockville earned a certificate of sustainability.
Well, the investment tax credit for using, as far as LEED certified existing buildings so they can renovate and become more energy efficient. There's a tax plan for that. We've done some things as far as watershed improvements and trying to reduce the amount of pollution runoff. And our Sustainable Design and Energy Subcommittee is working on things right now as far as the community solar bill that's working through the state legislature. So we're doing a whole bunch of things.
But one of the things I'm most proud of is the work of the Outreach Committee. I'm on the Outreach Committee, and the great thing about the Outreach Committee is whatever message we're looking at the time, whether it's supporting something that the division is doing or an issue that should be explored or just an awareness of different environmental things that are coming up, the Outreach Committee gets the word out.
The success of the Commission is due in part to the city placing an importance on environmental issues.
You got a great staff. You got a city that has the ethic and the desire, as opposed to other places in the country, and you got a great group of people right here. It's a cross-section, I should say, of the community. So that's the key thing about it also.
The Environment Commission, what Rockville does, and Rockville is a cutting-edge environmental city in so many ways. It's part of the community. It's part of the hometown.
Even with all the progress made, the members of the Commission feel that there is still more to do to improve the environment in the city.
There's always things that we can do to improve our air and our water, and we hope to make a contribution to the city in that regards.
I do think we've accomplished a lot, but there's a lot more to do.
To learn more about the Environment Commission or how to get involved, go to rockvillemd.gov/boards-commissions.
Last month, Rockville dedicated a week to celebrating the accomplishments of our local businesses. Here's a recap with Katie Giardi.
Once a year, we have a big business retention effort where we go out and visit over 50 companies in the city of Rockville in 1 week to learn more about them, see what they're up to, see if there are ways we can assist them, and really it's a great opportunity for us to say thank you for doing business in the city of Rockville.
Owners also get a chance to build a relationship with the city. Founder of the Executive Advisory Service, Holmes & Associates, Kirk Holmes says Rockville is a great location for his business.
Being in Rockville is very convenient. I've been here for at least about 14 years now, and I find it very convenient because everything I need is here. There's both a good location for my customers to get here, as well as easy for me to access other services.
It's very important that we all come together in Rockville and work together. You know, great neighborhoods build great schools, and great businesses help those neighborhoods and those schools. So Rockville's all about a big community, and the larger community includes our business community.
The city recognizes all types of businesses, like Sniffer's Doggy Daycare.
It's a great area for our business. A lot of people with dogs, and a lot of people who take great care of their dogs.
The city uses their visits to gauge how Rockville's businesses are doing.
We host a wrap-up breakfast, and all of the data and information that we've gathered from those companies over the week-long visits that we make, we'll present that information in the aggregate so that we can see a trend for the businesses in the community, if they're growing, if they're hiring, if they were having issues or challenges, and it gives us really a great snapshot of the pulse of the business community right now.
To learn more about Business Appreciation Week, contact Ready at 301-315-8096. For Rockville 11, I'm Katie Giardi.
For this episode of Meet Your Neighbor, we'll introduce you to a self-proclaimed extreme environmentalist who has been actively working to improve the environment since college. Rocio Snowdy has the story.
Hi, this is Rocio Snowdy with the Meet Your Neighbor segment. April 22nd marks Earth Day for the city of Rockville Earth Month. But Chuck Woolery, a Rockville resident and a self-proclaimed extreme environmentalist, has been celebrating nature his whole life.
I thought protecting the environment was the most important thing in the world.
Rockville resident Chuck Woolery is not your average environmentalist.
And so I shifted from being, I would take my classes out, we would clean up the street, and we'd do litter cleanups, and so that it just turned me not away from the environment, but looking at the world from a different perspective. And now it's obvious that they're combined. If you want to end poverty, have them clean up the environment and pay them. It's a real simple solution.
While living a sustainable lifestyle and leaving almost no carbon footprint, his true passion is valuing the human race in its relation to nature.
What it comes down to is our values. What do we value? And right now we don't necessarily value nature, and we don't necessarily value lives of people beyond our shores. And it's coming back to haunt us, and will continue to come back and haunt us until we get the message in life. So I always used to be concerned about overpopulation, but I learned early on that overpopulation was really a misnomer, that it wasn't there was too many people and not enough food. It was that there just wasn't the political will to end the hunger, that we had more than enough food. I had told my mom early on the first energy crisis, I hate politicians. I will never get involved in politics. And then to find out that that was the key to ending that problem. So I started getting more politically active. Not in the terms of Republican or Democrat, but just trying to influence policymakers on how to deal with the issue of hunger.
After approaching the problem from a political standpoint, a chance encounter gave Chuck the opportunity to see firsthand the problem he had been lobbying against his entire career.
When I was working with the Alliance for Child Survival, I got picked up by a taxi cab driver, and he had this little picture of children up on his dashboard. And I asked him, "What's that about?" Big mistake. 10 years later, I'm down in Haiti with him, building the school. I'd always worked on development and hunger and poverty issues from a mental perspective, but never really experienced it other than dieting as a wrestler, but starving myself as a wrestler. So I didn't really understand it from experiential. So I used this as an opportunity to try to, number one, to learn about it from a firsthand experience, but also to make a difference. We also had a lot of resources here that we'd ship down to them, and so that was always a fun thing to do, was to fill a shipping container with stuff and get it down there, particularly after the earthquake. It was very helpful.
Although effective in practicing his global philosophies, Chuck felt it was necessary to bring his passion to a local level.
I had never ever thought about buying a house, having a house. I wanted to be kind of a nomad and roaming around, and my wife wanted a house, so I thought, okay, let's do it. And we came to Rockville, and I just liked the name Rockville. It's just it's not my rock. My main commitment, though, was to try to have a house that represented a connection to the environment, and to have try to make it a zero footprint in terms of environmental impact. And so when I started doing the additions on the house, I wanted to make sure that we had a rooftop where we could have a roof garden. And solar, and so the roof was built with the intention of putting a lot of weight on it. And I had structural engineers to help me out with that, and so we did a pretty good job. Haven't caved in yet.
And last fall, Chuck's efforts were acknowledged by the city when he received the Environmental Excellence Award for, amongst other things, his work in eradicating invasive plants.
When I would drive down the road, I would see all this wonderful greenery on the side of the road, and then to learn that most of that, 90% of it, is invasive species. It's not really supposed to be there, and that it's actually destroying the interconnectedness of the environment as it was created, and destroying basically our biosphere, and it has impact on our water, has impact on our soil, has impact on our health. And then one day I was watching TV, and it was the Pac-10 wrestling championships, and these are college guys, or NCAA, and I'm watching them. I think, wow, I used to do that. I actually used to wrestle these guys, this weight class, that caliber. Why don't I go out and tackle the plants like that? And so I did, and suddenly it became a workout program. It was one of the best workout programs I've ever found, to go in and wrestle with these plants and take them out of the ground. And it's important to make sure you don't disturb the soil too much. But for the most part, it was now my motivation is to go into the forest and get a workout.
As an ambassador of the environment on a global and local level, Chuck has a surprisingly simple philosophy.
Our bodies were created in the context of nature. In other words, nature engineered our bodies to be a certain way, to live a certain way. And one of the key factors in that is to be active, to be actually moving around, doing stuff a lot, and to learn things. If you don't learn things and be aware of your environment, you got eaten. And so if young people find out that they're unhappy, they know they're missing something. They just don't know what it is. I'm going to suggest to get involved with nature, to get involved with another group of people who are making a difference, that you'll probably find an answer there.
Rockville hasn't always been the thriving big city it is today. It was actually once just a rural county seat. Learn more about the city's transformation and the role local communities played with Peerless Rockville and their Modern Living for a Modern City series. This spring, Peerless Rockville Historic Preservation invites you to learn more about the city's dynamic development as it continues its popular Modern Living for a Modern City series.
We are excited to bring to the community another 3 events in our Modern Living for a Modern City series, and this year we're going to focus on the communities of Rockcrest and Hungerford, which was originally known as Hungerford Town when it was developed, and also College Gardens.
Although the Rockcrest event was earlier last month, you haven't missed your chance to learn more about Hungerford on Saturday, April 12th at the Elwood Smith Community Center, and College Gardens on Saturday, April 26th at the Rockville Senior Center. These events promise to give residents a look inside the neighborhood and its history.
The developers of Hungerford actually got their start in Twinbrook and then moved south a little bit, south and west of the city. It really had growth when the city was becoming a more modern place to live, and also going through growing pains of what happens when a rural county seat begins to grow into a metropolitan area.
The events will feature both a presentation and interactive walking tour of each neighborhood.
We will be having a wonderful illustrated presentation for the community, and we will also be developing walking tours for each of these communities, and weather allowing, we may have a walking tour, a guided walking tour afterwards for anyone interested who would like to get out and explore the community for themselves.
Modern Living from Modern City events are free and open to the public. To learn more, visit www.peerlessrockville.org. City staff recently presented their fiscal year 2015 city budget to the mayor and council. Here's what you need to know.
Recently, Rockville City Manager Barbara Matthews presented the proposed FY15 budget to the mayor and council. The city's budget and finance manager, Stacy Webster, details some of the highlights of the proposed budget and how residents can get involved.
The focus of the FY15 budget is on facility and maintenance improvements, information technology initiatives, and employee compensation. The FY15 total budget equals $116.8 million, which is a 2.5% increase over the FY14 adopted budget. And the general fund budget, which is the largest portion of that, is $69.1 million and is a 0.1 increase over last year's budget. The property tax rate is proposed to remain the same. This is actually the 7th consecutive year that the rates will remain the same. And the FY15 budget also includes the city supplement to the state of Maryland homeowners tax credit, which is a tax relief program for low to moderate income homeowners.
While there is no increase in the proposed property tax rate, residents will see an increase in their utility rates.
All the city's utility rates will increase, and this includes an 8% increase for water, 6.1% for sewer, 1.9% for refuse and recycling, and a 12.5% increase for stormwater management. And what this means for the average residential bill, it will increase by about $6.35 per month.
There are plenty of opportunities available for residents to give their input to the mayor and council on the proposed budget.
All residents are invited to testify at the upcoming public hearings. There are 3 more left on April 7th, April 21st, and April 28th. And at these meetings, the mayor and council will also hold budget work sessions where they will discuss and give their input on the FY15 adopted budget. The budget is scheduled to be adopted by the mayor and council on May 12th and will take effect on July 1st, which is the start of our fiscal year. The budgets are available on the city's website, which is rockvillemd.gov/budget, as well as hard copies are available for reference at City Hall and at the Twin Brook and Rockville libraries.
Last month, Bar Louie hosted a Twilighter kickoff day. Rockville Rotary, Dark Cars, Montgomery County Roadrunners, and the City of Rockville Recreation and Parks Department all came together to start counting down to the 2014 Rockville Rotary Twilight Run Fest. The event included a prize wheel, discounted registration for this year's Run Fest, and food and drink specials at the restaurant. This year's race will be held Saturday, July 19th, and you don't have to be a runner to sign up. The race has introduced something new this year for all ages, in hopes that more community members will sign up and get active.
One of the things about our running club, Rockville Recreation, and the Rotary are very concerned about is getting people up and moving. And so this year, we're going to be using the first 2 miles or so of the course, which circles around and comes back to the starting line as a family fitness walk. You don't have to be a runner this year to participate. You can come in, you can join in as part of the walk, and enjoy every aspect of the race except for the last 3 miles.
For more information or to register for this year's race, head over to rockvilletwilighter.org. Spring is in the air, and that means it's time to get ready for some biking in the city. Lucky for you, Rockville's 2014 Bikeway Master Plan will offer safer, more convenient trails for cyclists.
Rockville's Bikeway Master Plan shapes the way people get around the city by bike. The plan was last updated in 2004, and a new plan is in the works.
We've done a lot of the things from the plan. A lot of it was recreationally focused, so we have a lot of great trails. We've got the Millennium Trail, we've got bridges and trails through parks, and families are feeling a lot more comfortable taking their kids out for bike rides these days and going on leisurely rides.
RBAC board member Connie Burtka says the Bikeway Master Plan is important because of all the great benefits cycling offers.
One of the greatest things about bicycling for me is for recreation and fitness. It's one of the activities I love to do with my family. I think it's a great family activity. It's even more fun if you can get other families to join you. From a broader perspective, I think it's important to keep in mind that for some people, this is their best option and maybe their only option to getting to and from work. And I like the fact that Rockville is making it possible to do that on a bicycle.
The goal of the 2014 plan is to build on what has already been accomplished and become more efficient.
I think that the place where we need to be going next and where this 2014 Bikeway Master Plan is taking us is bike routes that are more for commuting purposes or more for people using bicycling as a transportation mode.
Get lots of different ways of improving cycling. Is it another bike path? Is it another shared signage for the road? Is it a separated lane? We need to look at the detail now.
The city wants residents to get involved with updating the plan.
So the plan is available right now on our website, which is rockvillemd.gov/bikewaymasterplan. You can also find it at the 2 local libraries in the reference section at the Rockville and Twin Brook libraries. And we're having a public open house on April 9th from 5 to 7 in the City Hall to talk about the plan. People can come ask me or other staff questions about it. And that is conveniently right before the Planning Commission public hearing, so people can provide testimony on what they think about the plan and bicycling in general in the community.
Hello Rockville, and welcome to this month's segment of News You Can Use. May is Bike Month in Rockville, so get ready for events all month long. It all starts with a Bike Month kickoff ride on Sunday, May 4th. This short ride starts and ends at City Hall and is perfect for families. There will also be several other events, including National Bike to Work Day on May 16th and the 8th Annual Ride of Silence on May 21st. To see the complete schedule of Bike Month events, visit rockvillemd.gov and search RBAC. This month at the Glenview Mansion Art Gallery, see an exhibit from members of the National Capital Art Glass Guild. The free exhibit can be seen through April 25th on Monday through Friday. For more information, visit rockvillemd.gov/arts. F. Scott Fitzgerald Theater has a variety of shows and performances coming your way this month that are sure to entertain. On April 4th, catch the Brother Sway Comedy Talk Show, presented by the Washington Art Foundation. On April 13th, the Rockville Concert Band presents Music for All Ages Animation 2, where you can enjoy the music of animated films and cartoons. And on April 19th, Soul in Motion African dancers and drummers celebrate 3 decades of performing with Soul in Motion 30. See a complete list of events happening at F. Scott Fitzgerald Theater this month at rockvillemd.gov/theater. The citywide water main flushing program will take place this month. The city is divided into 39 districts. This spring, districts 34, 10, and 11 will undergo the flushing operation. Some parking restrictions or temporary discoloration of water may occur as a result. To learn more, visit rockvillemd.gov/publicworks. Rockville plans to repave more than 80 street segments beginning this month to improve the community's infrastructure. Resurfacing will begin in April and continue into September. For a list of streets to be repaved, visit rockvillemd.gov/publicworks. Start looking forward to some of Rockville's most popular events. This year's Hometown Holidays will feature more than 30 live music performances and plenty of activities and entertainment for kids. The 2014 entertainment schedule can be viewed at rockvillemd.gov/hth. It won't be long before you can once again get all the fresh fruits and vegetables you need at Rockville's Farmers Market. It opens on Saturday, May 10th and continues all summer. Learn more at rockvillemd.gov/farmersmarket.
Well, that's all the time we have for this month's Rock 11 Now. I'm your host, Morgan Lash. Be sure to follow us on Twitter and subscribe to our YouTube channel to view all of our stories, plus some exclusive web content. On behalf of the entire Rockville 11 team, thanks for watching.